Just because Roz has more underscores in her name doesn't mean I can't take it.
The battle of the underscores. It's like when they tried to put that portal in between like Ireland and was that in New
Exactly,
York?
and New York City and the Irish. We're the Irish, as you expect. Tried to make jokes about inappropriate events happening, and New York just kind of said, "Well, fuck you." I saw Gary Noon on TikTok talking about it.
I don't know.
Are you familiar with Gary Noon?
is.
You don't know who Gary Noon is? He's the guy that says, "Follow me, I'm delicious," and he talks about Irish stuff. And the motherfucker can sing. Oh my god!
What a heathen!
I know he's got a fantastic singing voice, and you're like, you should not be able to sing this well.
You bastard!
Something. Yeah, something. But it's like, holy shit. If I should know this song, but I can't think of it. On Friday, Oracle and I were playing Little Nightmares 3, and Sage watched a little bit in the living room, and then was like, nope. You two have fun. I ain't watching this anymore. That's terrifying.
I can watch it, but playing it, I think I'd cry.
Yeah.
I mean, I hid behind my mic when I played Madison.
Madison was a thing.
I didn't
That was Donut that got me to play that one, wasn't it? I think it was you. You were Donut. I think it was Donut. A little bit surprised by the color of the recycle bin over here.
Oh yeah, our recycle bins are green. They got a green top.
Where the fucking hell are we in this game? It doesn't know where it wants to be.
Why?
We got
Yours
American
not green?
style stop signs. No, it is it? Shit, I don't know. Probably. You know what? It probably is green.
With the little
How
arrows,
much
sorry.
Red pays attention. Yeah, that's the same sign.
And then you get a brown bin for garden waste.
Yeah, we call it composting.
Composting. Yeah, we have composters, and then you got garden waste that the bin man will come and take.
Oh shit!
But you've got to pay extra for that. You don't just get given a brown bin. You have to pay a subscription fee. And they will check.
Of course they will. Well, y'all just take it and, I don't know, shut the hell up.
Yeah, I know. And you can't leave out too many bin bags, because they'll put a sticker on them. And they won't take them, because you've created too much rubbish.
Oh my god.
It's ridiculous.
Do I pay my taxes? Is that what these are for?
Apparently.
Come on.
It's something stupid as well. It's like, what is it, 5 bin bags or something? You can't have more than, is it 3 or 5? Something like that.
More.
And you can't have more than that a week. Or they'll stick a sticker on it and not collect it.
As far as I know, at least where we are in the city, like, I don't know that they might check on like a building per building basis, but like we have a shared trash section.
Yeah, we do at the moment, but this is like this. If you've got, like, if you don't share.
Yeah.
We've got a big bin for everyone, so they can't sticker up.
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch like outside of our window, which is fantastic.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Perfect in summer.
Yeah, oh, it's great. It actually, fortunately, they're in like. Go ahead.
Oh.
You okay?
Well, if you've got to do the inside of the changing table. You've got to open
how did this get this dirty?
And close it. Yeah,
oh,
sorry,
look, I'm
anyway.
Toilet paper roll with this, too.
Oh, that's exactly what you want. Soggy loo roll.
Yeah, a loo roll. Oh, I love it. You British are so adorable.
No, it's just me.
Checks out.
Don't go giving my credit to everyone around here. Yeah, sorry, you're saying about the trash.
Oh yeah, they've got a wooden container thing that holds all the trash bins. So like as long as they're in there, the smell is kind of contained. So
Oh, we call it a bin shed.
A bin shed, yeah.
Yeah.
Sage is in there correcting me, like it doesn't do anything.
Oh.
Oh, it does. Oh, it doesn't smell. Okay. I swear there are some public toilets that actually, not anywhere I know, because it's like countries that actually are cool. That they sort of like duck down into the ground like this, and then they submerge it, like they just spray water all over it to clean it off.
Oh, yeah, I've seen something like that. There's one, I think it's in Japan or something, where it's got like a rotating floor.
Yeah, something like that, where it like hides away the bits that you can't really get wet, and then it just like submerges the entire thing just to clean it. Yeah, this is the fun that Crime Scene Cleaner wanted to be.
I want to play Crime Scene Cleaner.
It's pretty good. Like, I've actually played a little bit more of it off stream. It's just that like the way that they handled some of the subject matter was like, I don't know if I want it on stream with the way they do it, but like off stream it was fun. You know, it wasn't quite sure what it wanted to be like because Powerwash Simulator here is very much like it's very cartoony. It's very ding ding, and Crime Scene Cleaner like didn't know if it wanted to be super serious about it or cartoony, and it just kind of fell in that weird uncanny valley.
Yeah.
Air conditioning unit. Oh, this thing. But as such, it's like some of this stuff, again, since you're cleaning up literal crime scenes, I was just like, yeah, some of the material in here could be a little bit more triggering than I want to deal with on stream.
Yeah.
I don't trust myself to be able to handle some of these sensitive topics without making an ass out of myself is what it comes down to.
Oh, see, I accept the fact that I'm going to make an ass of myself.
They really understand the psychology of like I need that immediate feedback of ding. Oh, that's so funny.
It's just such a perfect ding as well.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's where some of those like free-to-play micro-transaction games, I swear they like put effort into figuring out what feedback is the most addictive to a person.
Oh yeah.
Or at least the most satisfying to get you to want to keep doing it.
How can we make you crave our game?
Yeah, exactly. It's your little. How do we give you as many little hits of dopamine as we can? Yeah. How many of those the remakes did you play through? Like the actual Tomb Raider games? Did you play through like one of them or something? Or
I definitely played one of them. I don't even know if I finished that one. You know, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I remember getting quite deep into it.
Who was it? I watched someone finish one of those. It might have been you.
I remember there being a big fight, so I assume I did finish it.
Yeah, there's like at the end of the first one, you're like climbing the outside of that like castle, not really, and then you fight one of the big ancient guys, and then I think that's.
Yeah, I think that might have been it. Yeah. I should go back and do those again, because that was a lot of fun, actually. I quite enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah. The first one of those is so good. I really liked it. I know some people didn't like all the QuickTime events that they did in that. I really liked the QuickTime event.
Yeah.
I thought that was a certain charm about it.
Yeah, I don't mind a QuickTime event.
Yeah. And then the second two are pretty good, too. But I think the first one just really captured something that, I don't know, I thought they did really well.
There's a lot of games that I remember playing on stream that I wouldn't mind going back and playing because I've forgotten.
Yeah, and some of those are absolutely worth a replay because I think that there's still value in that.
For instance, I wouldn't mind going back and starting the first Horizon again. I know I finished that one, and then playing through the second one as well. So many games, so little time.
Right? I know. Just before we did this, like earlier this afternoon, I was playing Tunnet. I don't know if you remember Tunnet on my stream.
Oh, yeah.
That like weird network puzzle game.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, I don't know, that's been living in my head rent-free for a little while. So I'm like, I want to get in and do that. Because I don't know of any other game that has that type of puzzle in it.
No. No, that's pretty unique, isn't it?
Yeah.
I started Cocoon, but I haven't
Oh,
really
yeah.
got anywhere with that yet. I might restart that and play that on stream.
I picked that up. Yeah, I saw it was one of the free games on the PlayStation, so I just added that to my library. I remember watching some people play that one.
Yeah. Not enough to remember the souls, but I remember thinking, wow, this looks really cool.
Oh my god, Okay, so PNG, right? Do you think that saying ping is a valid way of pronouncing PNG? Honest question. You can make fun of me if you want to. Follow up for this.
I go back and forth, because I quite often say ping to bear.
Standing very still. Okay, yeah, because for me, I'm like, yeah, PNG ping, yeah, sure. Because the other night, what's his face? Eisen the Vampire, who was on my stream playing Jump Space, he was like, hey, Red, we're playing Jump Space, you want to jump in? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I just mentioned ping in that context of like, yeah, I've got this model. And Eisen and the people with him, which were like just two members of his community, were like, what do you mean ping? I'm like, has no one ever heard of this before?
Oh, no, yeah,
apparently it's not a thing. Yeah, I'm like, apparently it's not a thing that people think of when you talk in the VTuber terms.
Yeah.
So I was like, huh, okay. I just, rolled with it, double down. I'm not like offended or anything. It's just like, I thought this was normal, and I thought, saying ping was a valid pronunciation of PNG.
Yeah, no, I've definitely heard it. I mean, I've used it myself.
Yeah.
But, maybe it's... Are they... Oh, fuck, I can't get up the ladder. Maybe it's like an age thing?
It could be an age thing. It could just be like in certain circles, maybe that, they hadn't, normalized that term.
I don't know.
Your VTuber is based on ICMP packets, right? Yes. A trace route or trace RT, if you know that reference.
You've lost me.
Trace RT, yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's a very. When I was in school learning about computer stuff, we loved to pass around the tracer T video. And we're like, bless this kid for keeping this video up in this day and age. Yeah, I would be curious. What software do you use to run the model?
VC Face.
VC Face, okay. I am not as familiar with that one. Like, I don't know if, like, I don't even know if the model that you use would be compatible with Vignon, or if Vignon, I assume Vignon would be more, like, I'm assuming it would perform worse on your machine, but I don't know.
It may be because I've got too many things open, it doesn't like it. Because it seems still right.
Yeah, that absolutely becomes a thing. I'm actually kind of facing that myself, where now that I run both Vignon and VTube Studio for the cursed model redeem, like, I am pushing my system's limit of what it likes to be able to do before it kills OBS's rendering pipeline. So I'm investigating possibilities for how to make that work.
Yeah.
And like, so I'm looking into adding an additional PC to my stream setup because it's not complicated and expensive enough.
Yeah.
It would need some more work to work with Vignon, but
but
it can still work with Vignon. Okay. I'm assuming you'd have to export it either as a VRM or as if it's a VSF avatar file, which again we're probably going to lose Roz here. Because I export my models as VSF avatar files because they are like much smaller and faster to load. VRMs being on the order of several hundred megabytes and VSF avatars being on tens of megabytes. like sometimes usually like 10 to 20. And so to get a fast swap of those between them, it goes so much faster as VSF avatar files, which I assume is what VC-Face uses natively.
I have no idea. Monday.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, then we
do this, plug this in, and shit works.
Yeah.
And I've gone, oh yes, it does.
Does it not work? Oh, well then. If not, Yelly!
Exactly. Why do the work?
I know.
Why learn things?
I have a person for that, right?
Exactly. Not to like dog on those who are affected by first person and things, but I'm very glad I'm not, you know?
It's one of those like I would be sad. I don't. It's like again, like I recognize I try to hope to recognize the privilege that comes with not being affected by that.
Yeah.
Like that is unfortunate. Because so many of my favorite games are first person.
Oh yeah. It's like if I have the option to be third person, I will, but it doesn't affect me being first person.
Yeah.
It's like Nomadics can't play first person.
Okay.
He can watch it, but he can't play it. It makes him feel a bit crazy.
Yeah. Like whereas for me, in some ways, like I actually prefer first person because it's I don't know. Having the character in the screen for me is like, okay, you're getting in the way of what I want to see.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it messes with my perception of the thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I tried to tell us in third person, I was just like, your fat head is in the way. Like,
Yeah.
please, just... And sometimes the perspective of a third person can be just really janky, like it's off to the
when
side.
When it swaps back and forth, like, I like the games that give you the set option of like, okay, which, shoulder are you going to be watching over?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, if the game doesn't give me the option to sort of, if it makes a decision for me based off of what it feels I want in the moment, I'm usually like, stop it, I can't really see.
Yeah.
Ignoble, yeah, first person is more immersive for you, Ignobler? Yeah.
Yeah, the immersion of a first person, like you say, is especially for games of any kind of flight mechanic. I hate third person and flying. I just can't do flying games. I can't steer a bloody anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I go back and forth on like wanting to be in the cockpit versus wanting to see the view of the entire ship. I don't know. I don't have a good rhyme or reason as to why I prefer one or the other. I'm also really glad that there's not like a water tank that you're attached to.
Oh yeah.
Or anything like that. That's one of the parts that Crime Scene Cleaner that kind of like, yeah, they give you the power washer, but you've got a water tank you're attached to that you have to continuously refill. Of course, also the scale of which you're cleaning things is larger in this game, so I feel it balances out. Where like, yeah, we're just not going to have you go in and be constantly refilling water, but guess what? You have an entire house to clean. I've been waiting for a really good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game for my entire life. I'm sure there's plenty that have come out, but like none of them have quite clicked with me in the way that I really want one to. It's probably a me problem, but still.
Yeah, no, I can't say that I've ever actually played one. I can't even think off the top of my head of an example of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game.
Yeah. Like, there was the old school, like, Nintendo Entertainment System one. The first one, which was ridiculously hard, I remember. I could probably play it now and be like, well, I don't understand why this is so hard. The second one, which I played the fuck out of with my childhood friend, that was what we used to do, is we'd get home from school, we'd go over to his house. We would do the little cheat code to give us nine lives rather than the regular 3. And then we would just play that, and we would beat the game, and then I'd go home for dinner.
Aww.
That was our thing.
The Yelly law.
Good memories, yeah. And that's where it's like, I would love to find one. I did like, there was recently the Shredder's Revenge,
Yeah.
which was, I played quite a bit of that for a hot minute just because, like, it pulled that nostalgia. It was very approachable. The multiplayer was done very, very well where you can just, like, hop in and just play.
Yeah.
And pick up in the middle of a session. You didn't even need to, like, know the people, so I would just jump in with people and just play it. It was so good.
Oh, that's good.
They did that one really well.
Yeah, I said to Nomadics the other day, and I was just like, nothing's gripping me at the moment. You know, I feel like there's not been a really good release for a long time.
I am waiting for that next obsession.
Yeah.
Even Factorio, the classic side scroller. Yeah, exactly. Even Factorio, which held my attention obsessively for like a couple of weeks, has now sort of fallen off, like they do with me. Which I'm not upset about. It's just that's the way that Factorio goes with me. Is I'll pick it up for a hot minute, obsess over it, and then put it down, and then I'll pick it up the exact same thing again.
Yeah.
See, I'm waiting for the next one to really click.
I was really hoping it'd be Forspoken, but
Okay.
I don't know what it is. Something about it just feels.
Yeah. I was hoping it was going to be Subnautica too, but I don't know. I have my doubts about that in general now, but just
that was so exciting, and then they just
no.
tore it
And
away.
again, I still don't know exactly what to believe of, who to believe on that side, but I've heard that Crafton is the way that the situation works out, if anyone's not aware, is that Unknown Worlds is the actual developer of Subnautica, and then Crafton is the publisher that owns Unknown Worlds. Satisfactory is a great one. Yeah, Satisfactory is good. Dyson Sphere, I'm actually going to be playing that on Friday. Factorio's the only game, that you couldn't get into. That's valid. That's valid. So anyway, I've heard that Crafton is sort of like pushing AI a lot more in the games that they're publishing, and so that makes me sad. I just worry that Subnautica 2 will just not be what it probably could have been, and I don't think it's anyone to blame, but I'll probably blame Crafton a little bit more than I will Unknown Worlds. But I think Unknown Worlds is also partly to blame for that one, because you just can't. It's really hard to follow up a game like Subnautica. Something that's that much of a banger. You wanted to play Dyson Sphere, but it didn't let you reblind the E key. That's valid. That's valid. Yeah, I'm gonna play that. That is Tuesday Moon's Bamboo request for me on my stream, so I'll be playing that on Friday. I played a little bit of it a long time ago. I streamed that. I think that was the first game that wasn't Mass Effect that I played on my stream. This is again more Yelly lore, like going way back, 2021. And I remember I streamed it, and I had a couple of, I think they were Russian people come in, and were pleasant until they weren't, and then that was an interesting experience, and I just never played it again. So, we'll start a fresh game, and it'll be fun.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. It was a bit awkward. But yeah, Satisfactory scratched that itch for a while, and I keep kicking around doing another Satisfactory run, but I just haven't yet. Grounded 2 could potentially fill that spot, but we need more content for it. That's the downside of early access.
Yeah.
Grounded 1 was so I played the fuck out of it. Really enjoyed it. But then I was done, and I feel like it's one that's probably better with people, and that's like my Saturday gaming group is playing. Well, it's kind of playing Grounded 2. Then we finish all the content that's available, and I have a feeling because one of the guys in the group is very much like he's not a fan of the early access games because of this exact thing. So when it eventually is like declared finished, we could probably get him back in. We have to wait till it's finished. That's going to be at least a year out.
Has Planet Crafter actually released yet, or is that still in early
Yes,
access?
Planet Crafter hit their full release, and I never actually finished my playthrough of it. I'm right up at the point where I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the last little bit of research, but I never finished it. It suddenly felt like it was getting really grindy at the end.
Yeah.
And I never started. It's one of those where it's like I've sunk so much time into that one world that I've just never started the second playthrough of it.
Yeah.
And there's even DLC. There's like different planets you can go to in Planet Crafter. Yeah. So it's out there. It's an option. Yeah. Planet Crafter was such a satisfying game, but I just never finished it. Never got myself off the planet. Even though I had fully intended to and kind of made a big deal out of like, yep, we're gonna do it, and then it didn't. Welcome to Yelly. Or Red at this point, you know.
That was a good time.
Yeah, that was a fun one. It's like the Scooby-Doo thing. You take off the one and you're like, oh shit, it's the same person. Yeah, you can travel to new moons and planets and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot more content, but just, never did. And that's my story, and that's it. Nothing fantastic.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. I don't know that I could ever go back to being face cam. I wonder sometimes, like, could I do like a little face cam redeem or like occasionally a reveal? Because I see some of the other VTubers in the spaces that I occupy that are not shy about showing their faces, and some of them are like, yeah, no, it's just a normal thing they do. But I'm like, no, I kind of like not showing my face on stream.
Yeah.
It's somewhat self-esteem issues because I'm just like, I don't see what someone could want to see about my face. You know, like I'm a near middle-aged or middle-aged dude. Like, there's nothing flattering about me.
But yeah, I really don't know if I could go back. Like, I was someone who wanted multiple cameras at one point as well.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, absolutely, you put a camera on me, I might shrivel up, you know?
No, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll give you my 3D avatar, which is expressive enough for me. Especially now because part of it becomes, and you may find yourself doing this too. You're driving a puppet after a certain point, and there are certain expressions I do with my human face because I know it makes my avatar face look a certain way.
Yeah.
But it is not a correlation, right? Like I do the thing where the ears go flat, and I have to like raise my eyebrows a certain way in order to make that happen. So like, I will do that expression with my face in order to. It's like it's puppeteering, and it would just be weird on the other end. And I find myself doing that like in real life sometimes too.
I do.
No.
I react because I forget that it's like people aren't talking to my model, you know, and it's sort of like I'll be talking, I'll be moving my head around, and like I'm like, oh no, wait,
Yeah,
I'm a flesh bag at the moment.
They see what I'm actually doing. Oh shit! Okay, this probably looks weird. Now you're gagging for a nicer one. Yeah, the constant chasing a nicer model is a thing. You now have the burden of that as a VTuber. Yes.
I adore my model. I don't know that there would be much I would do differently with it. Like, Monday's done such a fantastic job.
Monday does do a good job with the models. Really got a good talent for that.
And it was like, 'cause obviously my model's changed a little bit since she first made it. And sorry, I'm fiddling with guns and trying to talk at the same time.
I know. Like I'm just like make my way around the first floor. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's changed a little bit, and since it's changed, I'm like, no, I feel right in my model's skin now.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I don't think I was ever fully happy with my first PNG, and I think that's what gives me pause to like be PNG with my model, is because I don't think my first PNG was ever truly what I wanted. So it's
so true.
But that is the way the VTubing cookie crumbles.
Oh God, totally.
So what made
Yeah.
you go, I don't want to say animalistic, animatronic instead of human with your model?
Furry, you can say furry, it's fine. Or anthropomorphic. I don't know. It was one of those of like, I fucking love red pandas, and I just love the aesthetic of that. And then combined with, as I was, debating, I don't even remember why I started to think about doing VTubing in the first place, but it sort of like, I've always had that little, I called him the Horizon Red Panda.
Yeah.
And so I always had that, and I'm like, that's a really cool. I love the look of that, and I love the feel. So I'm like, you know what? And then I saw enough. I mean, furry VTubers that I'm like, I don't know. I just kind of think it's cool, and I'm obsessed enough with red pandas where I think it would be cool to be represented on stream by an anthropomorphic red panda with this sort of like cyberpunk look to it, which I'm hoping to lean into more as I work on evolving the design.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never even looked into any humanoid models, partly because, like, I don't know, I feel like also in the same way of, if I'm going to represent myself by something other than, my own face on stream, I feel like if I'm going to try to pick an avatar that would just be me, I don't feel like I'd be able to find something that truly represents me, that I'm happy with, unless I like just jump and go off the deep end with it and say, all right, I'm going to go so very much not me, and so in the human space, I could, like, I don't know, I could go like anime boy or something, but I'm like, but that's not me though. The only thing that really felt like something that I felt more authentic with is like, yeah, this little anthropomorphic red panda, because it's clearly not me. And even Sage is still like, it's weird that sometimes like your voice is coming out of this, but like, and even she's like, yeah, it's not you. It's a character you play, and if you know me in real life, which no one on here really does, like, that, like, yeah, it's a character. I'm similar but different in real life.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, what helps me be the character that I want to be on stream? And the answer was this. And then just exploring the different options and doing a fuck ton of research and finding things, and eventually finding the artist that I found to do the initial ping was just, I found someone on Etsy that does it.
Yeah.
And where that design came from, and then the live 2D model, I did a fuck ton of research and found Yoku, I think they call themselves now, and that, and found one that I was happy with, and then when I made the switch to 3D, I eventually saw a much larger VTuber, and I was like, I freaking love that model, and then happened to look up and say, oh, this is like a public thing that I could just use.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I forget what came
forget what
first,
I was saying, but
whether
yeah.
it was you becoming a PNG, or if Silfrin came into the community first.
Silfrin was in the community for a while before then, because she had actually made a joke about, like, hey, the Yelly's VTuber arc has begun, and at first I passed it off as a joke. This was even before I started off with the quick like redeem, and then and I think that's kind of might have been what planted the seed in my mind of like, you know what, I could, because one of the parts that I had sort of neglected to I'd forgotten about was I was always self-conscious on streams of what my face was doing.
Yeah.
Of what my reactions were, and I was always concerned about little micro expressions that would show up, and in the sense of like it's kind of a vain thing to say, but like giving away what I'm really thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't want, because someone new comes in and my defenses go up every single time until I suss them out, and I'm like, I don't want to turn people away because here's yelly, the my government name on the me bag on the other side being like, okay, I'm nervous as fuck about what this person is gonna do, and I'm afraid that's coming off plain as day to most people, which most people don't read faces quite like that, but it's still it
Oh
was still a
yeah.
thing that I was very concerned about.
There's
And
so
and so
much. Sorry, carry on.
no, that's fine. Yeah, no, I mean it's your stream. You can talk about it. Yeah, it's just
Is it?
I felt much more comfortable then, and especially now it's like, okay, cool. I can, again, I'm puppeteering. It's no longer my face, and the little micro expressions don't get caught.
There's so much as a streamer that people don't realise that you're constantly thinking about, and while you're streaming, and what I call offline, because you're never offline as a streamer. If you're not streaming, you're tweaking. If you're not tweaking, you're editing. If you're not editing, you're posting. If you're not posting, it's endless.
Yeah.
And I think that's not something that's talked about enough. Really, is like, especially as a small streamer, because none of us can really talk about being a big streamer. The anxiety of a new chatter, and you're like, are they going to be nice? Are they going to say something awful? And I'm not saying that people come in all the time and they're awful people, and but it happens, and that's like a huge thing as well. It's like you need a solid mod team, and there's just But
oh, totally. Yeah.
Like you say, with the models and the PNGs and the who's its and the what's its and the dingalings, there is so much creative freedom.
Oh, totally.
And that's something. It's something that I'm still, I've been doing this 5 minutes compared to some people, and I think that's something that I'm still trying to let go of, is that I can be a little bit more free, and because me as a person and me as a VTuber are essentially the same thing, but IRL I'm a bit quieter, I'm a little bit more reserved.
Yeah.
But my first stream back, I just sort of, all my barriers were gone. My stream filter was gone. And I've noticed it's sort of slinking back in, and I'm like, no, I need to remember that, it's not necessarily that we're here to entertain, because of course we are, but that it's also okay to entertain, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
But going back to the point of, like, when you first had a PNG and things like that, and I was a bit, not that I didn't like it, it was just that I was apprehensive, because I don't like things like masks, I don't like not knowing who's behind something, and that took a little bit of letting go of for me, and then I tried it and I was like, oh, I see why people love this, like, this is exactly what I want. But I didn't even know the term VTubing until, like, all that was sort of happening.
Right.
So
yeah,
that was a lot of it for me as well. It's like, oh, it's new thing bad, sort of.
It's a bit weird, and like, even you see that, like, on Twitch as a whole, of like, there is certainly a reputation that VTubers have.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that don't quite. Hey, stop it. There's a lot of people that don't quite know how to take VTubers. Even down to Twitch itself. There's people like Twitch hates VTubers.
What do you mean? You're like a drawing on the screen, like.
Yeah, exactly. And then so many, the VTuber representation. Down to so many that are like, oh, so like you're like an anime girl with boba physics and stuff like that. Booba physics is like, no, yes, that exists in this space, And people that are like, oh, it's all over. It's like it's actually not as prevalent as you think when you
No.
consider the space as a whole. Like that is one aspect of it. That is their culture, and there's a whole VTubing culture is a whole wild. And Monday could probably give a Monday morning talk about this exact thing. But like all the different aspects of YouTubing culture and all that stuff, and how because like there is like the idol culture, there's sort of more like the indie culture, there's very much the furry culture, there's a lot of other ones that fall in, and there's so many circles and things, and there's overlap, but yet at the same time they're all their own distinct culture. They have their own distinct norms that each one follows, and they often contradict each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And then you've got, you've got lore, and you've got people who absolutely will die for lore, and then you've got others that are kind of like, I don't want to have a story, I don't want to. And I don't know where I stand on that. I want something, but also I don't want to feel like I'm no longer me, Like, where does that sort of disconnect?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I want to be as much me as I can be, but also I am very aware that I am not a purple and blue haired lady.
No, exactly. Monday saying seen a lot of push against the expectation that VTuber equals lewd. Yeah, like there's the lewd tubers, and some folks get almost puritanical about it too, and everyone's expressing themselves in a way that's right. Exactly. It's a form of expression, and you're gonna do it the way you want, and then you're glad some. Yes, exactly. There can be lewd tubers. There can be wholesome VTubers. It's whatever you want it to be.
I mean, it's not really any different to any other human streamer, There's lewd streamers, there's wholesome streamers, there's, with the flesh cammers and the flesh tubers.
Cammers. Yes.
But people don't seem to recognise that it's all exactly the same. It's just, that's your face, and this is the face I've created. Like,
Yeah. We're still ultimately, even if you're on stream with yourself, your full legal name, Zach Bussy or whatever. I think you're still playing a character. You're not really. I mean, we all do that in different aspects of our lives. You put on one persona for work, you put on one persona for home, like you bring your whole self anywhere. It's like, well, you always just bring a part of yourself, and I think that's normal and that's healthy. So yeah, just like on stream, you're going to be a part of that. You're going to be it might be strongly influenced by who you are, your whole self in whatever space that means, but it's still going to be. What was I saying? Yeah, that. I love that this has become like podcast.
I was just about to say, I think we'd make a fantastic podcast.
Yeah. I mean, what else do you do when you're cleaning a house? Like, this is so satisfying. Of like, I don't need to think about the game because it's cleaning. It's so satisfying. But then, like, we got to talk about something.
Yeah, I must say, I had big reservations when I first found out about VTubing. I was like, I just don't get it. I don't see, why would you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to be who you are? But actually, I can admit that I was wrong.
I think that right there is just one of the great signs of an intelligent and I don't know, well-adjusted person, where you can, on receiving new information, oh my God, we're 99% done. Shit. Say, you know what, I was wrong, and I'm going to change that. Because I think you could like have every single VTuber and every single person come on and say, talk about your journey, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about what brought you here and the reasons why.
Why do you do it?
Done.
We could sit here and talk for days about like what people think and what they what they do and what they don't do. But I think a lot of the disconnect is because a lot of people just think, oh well, you're doing sexy things with your model, and that's not right, you know. And it's
Yeah.
but that was what people expected from a lot of creators when content creation was first a thing. You know, it was people only widely thought about, oh, but people who make videos make naughty videos, and
I think that says more about the person making that statement than anything else. And, maybe if you find yourself, and I don't think anyone listening to this would be, if you find yourself making those kind of statements, maybe ask yourself why that's a perception that you have.
if that's the content that you are seeking, then maybe that's what you would expect. But everyone exists in the space, and they exist for the content that they want to create.
Yeah. And as Money said, the something that you must be lewd is not. It's not so comfy. Sorry, I didn't write this.
No, keep going.
No, I just read what Monday said.
Oh, I didn't.
Don't worry, chat. I got you covered.
Must be lewd is so not comfy. Yeah, it's not comfy. I even felt pressure like that when researching VTuber design early on. In 2023, there actually weren't a lot of comfy designs to reference. Oh, that's interesting. I must say, VTubing, I'd be interested to know, like, when VTubing started to become a thing, because I feel like it's quite not a new thing, as in, like, oh, I've just started it, so it must be new. I didn't know about it. Do you know what I mean? But I don't feel like it's as old as... Obviously, it's not as old as streaming is, because it's got to have come from somewhere, you know. But who went, do you know what? I don't want to be on webcam, but I don't want nothing to be there, you know?
Yeah. I imagine some of it does come from like idol culture in some form, from Japanese idol culture. But I don't know if that's like the origin of it entirely. Of who was the first person to put on a virtual avatar, instead of their face on a YouTube video, or because I assume it probably started on YouTube because VTuber.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know, and I'm sure it's entirely possible that's lost to the internet lore by this point, or maybe people do know.
The first official
saying,
VTuber is considered to be Kizuna A, but she's definitely not the first virtual avatar. Yeah, because I mean, when I was younger, I remember like playing little games, and you could dress up your things, and they would yap and talk, and but then you've got things like Habbo Hotel, and you were an avatar, you know? It's where do you go?
And how did things like Max Headroom play into this? Or do they at all? Those kind of those things.
Get your dick
Monday studied this. Yeah, to no one's surprise. In fact, several people's delight. Monday has studied this.
Monday out here doing the research we all crave.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I will just, boldly exclaim with all the unfounded confidence of, a white dude on the internet. Yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah. What do you mean your opinion differs from mine?
I know.
One VTuber that really sort of, I was like, wow, that's a good that's a different way of an approach of it, is Nova and Pulse. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah, oh, I absolutely know them, yeah.
I just love the idea that they're the VTuber is more the sort of what I would class as a stream pet.
Yeah, like Pulse is the, as I understand, it's just Pulse that runs it,
Yeah.
and then Nova is like the AI companion. Yeah, Pulse is sort of set up as the stream pet, and yeah.
I just thought it was a really unique, really fun way to do it.
Yeah. I don't remember if this came on by Nova and Pulse or if it was something I thought about other times, but I've thought sometimes about, like, wouldn't it be interesting to be like that same kind of thing? Tethercat. Hello. Yeah, clean all the things, exactly. And just naturally disappointed, can't confirm his cat. Of like, yeah, being like, okay, I'm going to be a little red panda on a person or on a bigger thing, and then I'm the one that's talking, and the other thing, yeah. I'm pretty sure there's ones that do that, like Nova and Pulse.
But yeah, I do find myself, like, now and again thinking, oh, how could I make this, more of a character thing, and I appreciate that content, but I don't know that content's for me. I have to have Lamar, because
of course,
Lamar is my baby, but,
yes.
and like Lamar was in my flesh tubing days. Lamar was a little lemur teddy that sat on my microphone that Nomadics had bought me from the zoo.
You mean Nomadics? Okay.
Yeah, Nomadics. And I really, like, it's so stupid, but that was one thing that I was like, I may have to go back to flesh tubing because I miss my little pal. And then,
but you've got that wonderful,
And then, sort of the more I learned about VTubing and what different people did, and I was like, oh, stream pet, that's interesting. Because I used to have the little cat, didn't I, in the corner?
Yeah, the Capamon thing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, sorry, just jump in. Tethercat confirming this is a vibe that they're there for. So, yeah.
There we go.
We've started a thing for us.
I knew I'd get you eventually.
I know. Who knew it was Powerwash?
But,
yeah, basically being a character isn't great for long. Oh my god, it's so exhausting to keep up. Seriously.
Yes, that was something I was going to say, actually. For me, personally, being someone I'm not on stream, I think I would just burn out immediately, and because, like, if I was to have all this, like, really in-depth lore and really go for it and sort of be, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, I pull from some of my own acting experience. Because I did. I never did anything serious, but my Sage and I met through community dinner theater and stuff like that, murder mystery dinner theater. So we both have some acting experience, and, like, it's one thing when you have a scripted, story to follow and stick with it in no sense because it's all planned out. It's all meticulously, choreographed. I have to sneeze. Hold on. Hey, thank you. But to do, which is what is essentially 3-4 hours of improvisation in a character is exhausting. So you really do have to find something that is sustainable for you. Something that, like, and that's not to say that every type of character portrayal for that long is something that you can't do. Just know that it comes with a toll. And you have to be able to sustain it. So that's why it's super critical to find that. And I think for most people, it's going to take you some time to really figure that out. It's not going to come right away. It's going to take you some iterations to get through it.
And
I
you
think
really have to be comfortable with the model that you're sort of using to portray this character as well.
Yeah, Tethercat coming in. Heard of a lot of VTubers are affiliated in some way, somehow with act. I really think a lot of it is like we're all. There's a large number of us that were community theater actors that probably could have gone on to something bigger and better, but life just didn't work out, and so now we're looking for the ways of recapturing some of that and here we are VTubing. So yeah, 100% agree.
And I'm not trying to say that, you know, having a character and someone you play as when you stream is bad and you should not do it. But I think especially people who are new to streaming and VTubing, etc., 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 they don't quite, because they've never experienced burnout in a way
Oh
that
God,
streaming gives you burnout. You know, we've all
oh my
experienced
God,
burnout,
yeah,
but
it's so it, streaming burnout is the thing. Yeah, very much its own thing.
because
And then
carry
go
on.
ahead.
No, carry on.
Yeah, I was gonna say for me as an audience member, for me as a viewer of streams, I crave a certain level of authenticity.
Yeah.
Then and that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you're always your own self. I just think that there has to be enough authenticity in whatever form you're playing. Because again, I admit I'm playing a character on stream. I feel like if I don't sense that, and if I suss out that you're being inauthentic in ways that bother me, then I won't stick around those streams. And so another challenge of, and it's not something you consciously do so much, but as people coming into the space, newer VTubers, like finding something that feels authentic to you, so then it comes off as authentic to the audience, and they you know can grow off of that. They can feed off of that. Yeah, authenticity is so important. Yeah, the model grows on you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Authenticity
we all just want to be
can
entertained.
come in so many different ways as well. You know, it's not as simple as, well, Ros said I can't play a character because that it doesn't feel like me. It's, you know, it's not that, but I think people who want to do, who want to be something that maybe they're not necessarily that in a day-to-day setting, like
Yeah.
like I said, I don't pretend to be anyone I'm not, and I don't think I could pretend to be anyone I'm not.
No.
But having, because when I first started streaming, I was like, oh, I need to talk a certain way, I need to act a certain way, I need to not sort of tell people things, and I need to not be who I would usually be, and I couldn't keep it going for more than 5 minutes. Like, I think it takes it takes a certain sort of ability, and I don't think that's always completely clear to newer people.
Yeah.
I mean, streaming itself, I came in and I was very naive, you know. I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to play my silly little games on the internet.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Yes,
and that's easy. And then suddenly, you know, people just flock to me and stuff. You know, Monday saying having a model that's close enough to your goals is important. Knowing what your goals are, which, well, I kind of know what mine are, but I've never written them down or so. But I know at the end of the day what I want to be seen as. Test a bunch of models, see what clicks. I think for some people, testing models. I think for other people, like through the research of looking at it and watching other people, and I think you can kind of get that, like, what resonates with you. I have to clean the backside of these things. Fuck. Can also help with that too. Yeah, knowing your goal of concept as a VTuber, yeah. Like, I will sometimes, I've mentioned it on my streams that, like, I sometimes I'm like, oh, I could be more like chill and calm with my stuff, but then I absolutely cannot, because I just sort of gravitate to the character that is Red, and it's more gremlin, a little bit more high energy, and so I know when I cancel my own streams that it's usually like, no, I know myself. If I could do the low energy things, I could survive this stream, but I know myself, and I always gravitate into, you know, what you all see on my streams.
I think that's
So
part where I struggle as well because I would, I don't have a thing, you know, you know, everyone's got a thing, and my thing just seems to be the fact that I'm British, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not overly cozy. I wouldn't class myself as a cozy sort of creator. She says just currently
uh,
hosting a podcast while pressure rostering.
I
Um,
mean, cozy in certain senses, not language-wise, because we all swear like sailors, but in some ways,
but
I don't know.
also, I'm not chaotic. I can be, but I would say I'm less often chaotic. But I think that's somewhere where I always struggled before as well because I would I would consider myself to be a certain way, and then a stream wouldn't go that sort of way, and I'd be like, well, I'm not giving what I should be giving. It's not authentic. When it is, it just naturally digressed into that form of stream for that day.
Yeah,
Um, and I just need to learn to let go and just realize that some days you're going to be absolutely bouncing off the walls, and some days you're going to be washing the bottom of a billboard, you know?
yeah.
And
I think. Go ahead. I'll let you keep going.
um, I
This
just
is your
sort
stream,
of,
after all.
I struggled to know, like, well, how can I tell people to come and enjoy my stream if not even I know what to expect? I should be setting a precedent and things like that. And I think that's something that a lot of new creators will also put onto themselves. It's like, well, how do I know what my vibe is? I don't. I'm 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 offering this sort of vibe, but actually, I think maybe I'm not that, and I'm this, and that's just don't label yourself. Is
Yeah,
I
cause
think where I'm trying to take that. I
yeah,
don't know anymore.
'cause- well, I think that everyone has a thing that their audience connects with. They just might not be aware of what. And honestly, most times you're probably not going to know what it is that your audience connects with about you. That is, again, if you have an audience, even if it's an audience of one,
Yeah,
they will have something that they come for. And it's not like a super specific thing. It can be like so many things combined.
yeah,
And I think as a streamer, as an entertainer as we are, if you can identify that accurately, I think then you can really lean into it and play those parts up. But that's not easy
no,
because there's what we perceive people to like about us, and then there's what people actually like about us, and that doesn't mean that the people can even identify it for themselves. To say it down. Because someone said, I don't know if this is even relevant or not, but like someone once said, if someone tells you that something doesn't work, believe them. If someone tells you how to fix it, don't listen to them because they're always going to be wrong. And I think it's usually around writing. But like they could tell you what works and what doesn't, but they don't know how to do it because that's you have to figure that out for yourself. What else has happened?
Tethercat says,
Roz,
viewers are smart
go ahead.
cookies. You can portray X and secretly be Y, and your viewers will pick up on Y pretty quick.
Yes.
Yes, that's yeah. You were sort of saying something similar to that earlier, weren't you, Red? Like, if someone's
exactly.
inauthentic, you can very easily pick up on that.
Yep. Yep. And the audience is gonna just know by gut feeling, like, yeah, this is I like this person, and you know, for some reason, and enough to be like, I want more of whatever feeling I had when that person, when I was in their stream, when I interacted for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And some people nail, like, okay, so as an example, a moment, I won't name the streamer, but a while back, probably over a year ago, rated out to a larger streamer that I like to watch from time to time. Not really an exact match for my content, but like someone who is chill and has a much larger thing. They took the opportunity, they took the time when I and my community rated in to like really have a conversation. and talk. And one of the things that we sort of, shared in that moment was like, oh, what's your favorite game? Oh, so we were playing Subnautica. I love Subnautica. And they're like, oh my God, Subnautica is my favorite game. And just they had this knack for making a connection like that, because they really did. Like they paused their game, and now like they're gonna let this conversation run as long as it needs to. And just I remember to this day, and again I remember who it was. I'm just not gonna mention it because I'm being mysterious. And like I still remember that, and that's one of the things I'm like, I would love to be able to emulate that, to be able to do that, of let people coming in genuinely feel seen and heard and listened to. And again, that's one of the things I'd like to be. I don't know if I actually successfully pull that off, but that stuck with me so well.
Yeah, I mean, on the complete opposite side of that, I have raided creators before, and I can specifically remember one of them, which I won't name because it doesn't need to be,
Right.
where I've taken my community, and it wasn't by all means a huge raid, but it was a good raid for me, and I was like, yeah, no, this person's streaming. I enjoy their content. I think they're great. Like, they're bigger than me. They're not the biggest, but they were a partner.
Right.
So that sort of sets a precedent as it is, And I'm not raiding them to gain anything from it or anything like that. I just wanted to show, here's a bit of support, and I really enjoy your content, so I'm going to give you a bit more of a boost,
Exactly.
I want to support you. And we raided in, and I got a raid. Hi.
Oh
and
my
that
God,
was
the
it.
worst. The
About
worst.
3 words, and I was like, huh. So we didn't have the connection I thought we had then. But then I'd pop in like the following week or something. They'd be like, "Oh, hi Ros, how are you?" And I'm like, "Where was this a week ago?" And I
know.
I just unfollowed them. I was like, "You very clearly didn't appreciate me bringing." I can't exactly remember how many, but I think at the time maybe it was like, I don't know, 12 people or so. I was like, my 12 people weren't enough for you, so why am I wasting my time,
Yep.
And I think it's really important for people just to be mindful of the fact that even one, because a lot of people will say, oh, but I don't want to raid, I've only got one person or something like that. Even one viewer is a viewer I didn't have just now,
Yeah.
So that's really important too. Like, there is no bad raid. There's no, everyone's going to have what their opinion of a good raid is, but every raid is a good raid.
Yeah, not all raids are created equal, but every raid is a good raid.
Yeah.
Except for hate raid, but that kind of goes up. Hey.
That's a different topic.
Yeah,
altogether.
Exactly. I'm just being pedantic because that's what I do.
I mean, don't we all?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I've had people come in and raid before with like 1, maybe 2 viewers, and they're like, "Sorry, it's not much." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
I know.
Like,
I want to be like, no, I love that of all the options out there, you chose to raid into me.
Yeah.
And I friggin' love that. I don't care if it's just you. Like, again, not going to mention any names, but there is a community member that I have right now that has raided in several times recently and has been like, oh, I'm sorry, it's just me. I'm like, I don't fucking care. You raided in. That's wonderful. I love that you appreciate my content enough to do that.
Exactly.
You
made my light sting. Like, that's all I care about. Exactly. It's like,
give me little dings.
You made noises happen on my stream, and for that I am ever grateful.
Did we tell the cats? Don't have mods. Don't know enough about raids. Major streamer raided. Little old you a few months back, and you began to get excited. And on their stream there was a light rip. No, that's bad. That's fucking horrible. I don't think anyone listening to this would ever do that. But if you are, don't be that person. don't be that person.
Oh, yeah, that's not
All
nice.
these flavors, and you choose to be salty. Like, stop it. How do I get on? Fun little tidbit, because I love to tease things that may or may not ever happen. I've wondered if I could potentially set up to do a what is it called? Beat Saber.
Oh, yeah.
Beat Saber stream somehow. And I feel like I have the technical setup to do it. I just have to stitch all the pieces together.
That
Thank you,
would be
Mother.
fun.
Thank you. You've tried yeah, but I mean, again, Tethercat. If it's just you,
What
if it's
was
just you and
that
one other person,
sound?
it's totally fine. Shit. Keep falling off.
There was a sound.
Yeah, I've heard Beat Saber. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Beat Saber has, I feel like there's a certain community around Beat Saber that can be pretty cool. Like, I would have to do some interesting things. I'm not quite sure how I would swing, because I'd want to have my model in the game, which I know you can do. But the challenge for me is I'm then occupying 2 rooms of the house, because I can only really do streams from the bedroom. But I could broadcast. I could get the feed from the computer in the living room where I am.
I mean, back to Tethercat's point about like the jibing on each other and things like that. I mean, we do it. Me and Red do it a lot. You will often catch us just laying into one another.
Yeah.
But that's because we have that kind of rapport. We've known each other a few years now, and it's, you know, we know we're fine with it. But I wouldn't sit here and be like, oh, Monday, do you know what I mean? Like, and just start teasing her or whatever.
Shit, I just got yeeted. There is an amount of mutual respect that's required for that kind of ribbing.
Not that I don't feel like now I feel like an arsehole. Not that I don't have a relationship with Monday, because I have a very good relationship with Monday. But our relationship is very different. You know? Like...
Yeah.
Monday isn't the sort of person to have the jokes that me and Red would share, you know?
Yeah, totally.
I'm trying to dig myself out of a hole.
I love survival builders. I love base building, but like I don't want to decorate it because like I don't see a point.
I'll decorate it when I've bought everything and I've got nothing else to buy. I'll spend my coins on it then.
The game that did make it work, in my opinion, was Grounded, where you get a buff, like a perk, for having a decorated base. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Now up on that side. Yeah, I thought that was cool. Of like, you get better rested and you get better perks if your base is decorated. So then I spent time decorating a base. If you want to come up and grab that little seat and do the backside, there's Red again on the backside.
Always with the back end. I'm just finishing up.
Oh, the back ends. Yeah, see, that's
this bit.
Can I catch this?
Oh.
Jump.
Maybe I should just move my thing along a bit.
I'm gonna place this on the mountains because it's not letting me, but it's letting me.
I hope we haven't offended anyone with our opinions on streaming and VTubing, but
I know. We could try harder if that's
I know.
The case. Oh fuck!
If we haven't, let us know and we'll do it again.
Yeah.
We'll try again. Everyone's got that. I just started streaming and oh boy, that was embarrassing. Do you know what I mean?
Oh god, yeah.
My, you know, no one wants my advice, but my advice is lean into it. Lean into what goes wrong, and it's going to happen. It's technology. It's never going to be perfect. We're all human, you know? And
you really have to learn to roll with the punches, roll with what breaks. Absolutely.
I mean, look at me. I blabbed about returning for a week straight on the internet and then did 78 billion streams because everything broke. Like,
You also talked about returning like once upon a time a while ago. And I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, so close, and then it didn't happen. But now you're here. Imposter syndrome is it's a absolutely genuine thing. I could talk a lot about that.
Oh yeah, imposter syndrome is just
It becomes so diffused once the streamer realizes that they're incredibly unique. I mean, everyone is in their own way. And I think once you find and embrace like your own individuality with that and realize like, oh, I don't have to try to be, this other person.
and finding what's good and not. See, this is another thing with like what is good, What is inherently good and what is inherently bad with streaming, because what is good one day
Yeah,
will
and
never
if
be
you
good
find
again.
out,
It's,
let me know, because goddamn, I've been trying so hard.
it's there is no sort of. I mean, we can all give advice until the cows come home, and we can all say, "Well, this works for me. I don't know why it's not working for you." But
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's live content. It's going to change as the wind blows. Everyone's opinions change as the wind blows. What they enjoyed yesterday, they may not enjoy again for 6 months. But
yeah,
I think as long
I'm
as
a red panda on the internet.
the thing that I had to learn was creating content for me and not for anyone else. Because if you're enjoying the content that you're creating,
Yeah,
people will enjoy it with you, if that makes sense.
that is still something I will probably continue to struggle with that until I somehow stop streaming. I don't know when I would ever stop streaming, but I will probably always struggle with that. That's just a thing that I go back and forth on.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just when you crack the code, let me know. You know what I mean? I say it's something I had to learn, but it's just something I had to learn to deal with more than anything,
Yeah.
And it's like I will sometimes I will finish a stream, and I know these are bold words for someone who's been back precisely a week, but like.
Yeah, talk to me when you hit the drop. Jeez.
But I'll finish a stream and I'll be like, that was shit, And then it's like, okay, but why was it shit? What am I thinking is making it shit? Take out your view account, take out whatever your average is, take out all of that nonsense, because you've got no control over that. That's another thing, is letting go of the control, learning what you can and can't control in streaming.
Letting that which does not matter truly slide.
Yeah. I mean, again,
Pull from the
bold words for someone who spends their life on Sully No and Twitch tracker, but
yeah,
here we are.
Exactly.
Right?
I know. Remember, the second of every month, Sully No updates for the month.
But, I mean, if someone out there truly doesn't care about the numbers and what their streams are doing, then they're a bigger guy than I am, But
yeah,
just remembering in the back of your mind that just because there may not be a magical number on the screen that you like, it doesn't mean that everything went badly. You've really got to think about, take away all of that. Take away the uncontrollable aspects. Oh, I had technical difficulties. Okay, that's out of your control. What makes you think that this was not a good stream? Because that could have been a great stream in everyone else's eyes, but the brain monsters in the back of your mind are saying, oh no, it was terrible because you didn't have 4,782 viewers. Well, you're never going to have 4,082 viewers. And it took me a long time to be comfortable with the fact that I'm not going to be a partner overnight, Like, I may never be a partner, I'm not saying like,
Yeah.
oh well, my 4 viewers. I appreciate every single one of my viewers, whether there's one of them or 400 of them.
Yeah, exactly. The individuals themselves, like, you always, you appreciate that, but yeah, when you get caught up in, like, yeah, the numbers, and I think, like, for me, like, over time you get an idea of, like, what is an acceptable number. Like, what is the number that I see that as long as I'm over that one, then I'm like, okay, cool, the number's good. And that changes, and even then, like, that's never a guarantee.
No.
Like, it could always slip at any time because, again, Silksong might have come out, or school is back in session, or any number of things.
Or duck
And
sneezed. Like,
yeah, exactly. And then just being able to deal with that and truly let that slide, is hard, but it takes, you can get there. It takes time, but you can get there.
and I'm not saying that's what Meg was thinking. It's just where my mind went in that moment of this is what I used to struggle with, and this is the advice that I would give to, no one asked, but here it is.
Yeah, exactly. All the unsolicited advice.
I honestly don't know if I've ever had imposter syndrome as a VTuber. That's something as well. I must say, imposter syndrome as a VTuber is not as strong as when you're flesh tubing.
Interesting.
I feel.
I can see that.
Personally.
I wonder, with the whole VTubing being or imposter syndrome being less as a VTuber, is how many of us got to a point where just the overall imposter syndrome was less, and then we started VTubing, versus if VTubing itself, like, is this a correlation or causation thing or something else? It's entirely possible that it is a thing, but maybe not. I don't know. I just wonder.
But everyone's imposter syndrome comes in different flavours as well. So, what I could experience could be completely different to what you experience, and why we experience it, etc., etc.
Yep. Because, like, I also dealt with a bit of imposter syndrome professionally at work, and so, and that journey of dealing with that and continuing to deal with that is different than what I deal with in the, the streaming space, the VTubing space.
Oh, I'm back in the chair, I think. Right.
Meg doesn't know what questions are because you're not in deep there. There is that too, of, like, the you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Is perfectly valid too. That's a wild, thing to think about, but is also true of, like, I just don't know. So yeah, Tether Cat, only hard rule when you stream is that you don't bring your professional life into stream. Works really well for some people. Sometimes talk about my personal life. Oh, hey, I try to not, but then I just yap way too much about it. So yeah, yep. Yeah, VTubing is playtime. That's valid.
There we go.
Go. Well done.
I think we should definitely do this again.
Agreed. 100% agree. Hello, hi, I'm Red the Panda, cybernetically enhanced Red Panda VTuber and variety streamer. We'll stream Mondays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then all that other good stuff.
Bye from me and goodbye from him. Thank you, love you, bye!